That's too rocky to get down on the raft, so we're gonna walk down it. But the rain's picked up a bit now, so the rocks are gonna be slippery. You gotta be careful. What a mission I'm on here now. The river is real deep. I didn't want to take Saku's pack out, so I'm trying to bushwhack. No, we're only 20-30 yards. I think I'm stuck now. Put this somewhere now. It's not good, Sak. This morning we start with a bit of a bushwhack here. Stay with me, Sak. I'm coming back for you, Sak. I'm speechless. It's not good, Sak. I'm hooked in somewhere. Rope hanging out the raft. Jeez. Not out of this yet either. Ah, jeez. This is not things you want to be doing with the raft on your back. Sometimes that happens. You get a little reckless. Almost there. Now I'm gonna go over here actually. Come on, Sak. Come on. Good boy. Go on this way. I'm coming. Just trying not to destroy our boat. So you can turn sideways, you'll squeak your way through. Woo! Thank God, out of that mess. Jeez, another one bites the dust. We gotta pick our way through there now and we're out to the pond. Worst fly so far, hands down, right now. Oh man! Sak, get us out of here! Up my nose and everything, in my ears. God. Bloody things. What's up on the menu next, Sak? We're going to have to hop out again in around 10 seconds and bypass this little brook. Because they're not rivers, they're not very big. And they're rocky. Jeez. Man. gotta stay in your sack. You can have to raft some of the unbalanced stuff. Turn her around now. Good boy, Sack. Good boy, buddy. That a boy, Sack. Good boy. Sack. Go on. Over here. Over here. Over here. Good boy. That a boy, Sack. Now this is going to be a bit tangly. We're right on the edge of a small careful here, don't lose the raft. Very careful. Yeah, the rain persisted and even picked up a little bit, so I called it a day. It's getting close on 6. So, looks like tomorrow could be a break as well. Big wind gusts coming in from the northwest and more rain, so we've done 3 in a row. That's all we can do. Well, in case you missed it,
Yesterday we hit the 400 kilometer mark, so it was a big achievement in our trip. Super excited, and because we were a little miserable yesterday and tired and beat up, there wasn't much of a celebration, and there never will be, but we'll have a small one now. It's a toast to the Screech rum. Yeah, that's good stuff. Whew, made right here. Follow that up with a little smoke from the pipe. We're doing all right, Saku, old boy. So, during today's wind and rain day, me and Saku haven't did a whole lot. We were out under the tarp by the fire for a bit and had some tea and a little snack, and I've also been perfecting a little ditty here on the tin whistle. So I'm going to give you a little preview. I'll do my best. Expect a few squeaks. Spot for fishing here on the side of this river. I couldn't even find a good place to set the camera up, but I hooked one, decent winning-ish. We got a bit of speckle mixed in there too though. Well, anyways, one for the pan this evening. Hey, Sack. Got another one. Yahoo! Winning-ish. I'd like to see a brookie out there somewhere, but I'll take him. He's a big one. Now, that's what we were looking for. I was starting to think there weren't any brook trout out there, but evidently patience pays off, and I stuck around, and then one bit the hook, so oh man, I'm excited. Hey, they're a fun trout to catch, and they're even better to eat. As we stroll over the land, back to camp, I can't help but think about what we've gone through to get here. Through struggles and unknowns, we've forged our path that has provided endless satisfaction, of the simplest kind. It's been done this way for centuries, ingrained in us all, the life of continual movement in nature. And here we are, man and dog, far from civilization, bounded by the woods and waters of our province. With a fresh meal cooking over the open fire, it's a feeling of pure joy. I was led here by the insatiable desire to explore and be free, to reconnect with the old ways that provide all the realest experiences of our existence on this planet, surviving and feeling instinctively alive. It's time to patch up a wound here. This one was done a couple days back at the Shoe Hill camp, and that was a tough day. I was pretty tired when I got back, got to our site, and I was sitting on a rock, and it wasn't the flattest of rocks by the fire, and I fell back and stick drove in there, so we'll use a bit of polysporin and tape there to patch her up for round 2. I already had it done up there the last couple of days, but I'll let it air out and then give her a new wrapping. First aid comes in handy, old boy. I'll tell you that. He needs all the goods. It's very important out here. Means the difference for me being looked after with good products, or having to use a bit of moss and spruce twine to wrap something up, because that's what you do.
Before moving on, I patch up our fire pit to leave as little trace as possible.
So this morning we're on the move through Meeta Pond, making our way towards the headwaters of the Piper's Hole river system.
Meeta Pond is many ponds, and today we mazed our way through what seemed like hundreds of little lakes on the map. We were working our way over towards the headwaters of Piper's Hole River, which we would descend to reach the Atlantic Ocean and resupply number 3.
It's going to be a tough entrance here for Sack. I can't get in very close. I had to hop in myself because there's kind of sharp rocks all around here. All right, Sack, come on. Let's do this with a flipping raft. Come on. Sack. Good boy. Good boy. Job well done, buddy. Old Sack, bye. Got her down to a science nearly now. You Sacky boy. Good boy. Nice one on here, Sack. Ah, jeez, we lost him, Sack. Sack, must be nice, hey? Our bags are getting lighter. Sack's wheeling around like he got nothing on. That's because he's used to carrying a ton, and he was carrying it first, weren't you, bud? Man, he can move out here. But yeah, we're just walking along the watershed here now, into Meeta Pond, and we're almost to the top of Piper's Hole. Back in the boat, Zach. Well, the evening's just setting in here now. Me and Sack are still plugging along. We're just about into the headwaters of Piper's Hole. We may be in them now, I'm not quite sure. The map is hard to tell. But we're rounding a corner here at the moment. And it's a little canal that leads from this small pond to the next one. And by the God, it better not be rocks, so I gotta take this out and lift it around. Come on. Come on. Come on, Sack. What do you mean, Sack? You gonna get out or not? Yes, sir. Woo! You're gonna get out, Sack boy. Right on into the next pond. Feels good. Man, all day long. I'd say we've done it 10 times now. Out and in, out and in, out and in. Takes a bit of effort picking the bag up every time, and just loading and unloading it's annoying after a while. Alright, Zach, we're looking for camp now within the next 30 minutes. It's just past 6 o'clock.
It's a new day here, and we look forward to working our way down Piper's Hole River. Seems like, based on the map, the going will be much like yesterday. In and out of the raft, depending on how rocky the riverbed is and what the shorelines are like for walking.
Stay sack. There'll be a trout waiting for us here, buddy. Bingos. Not very big though. Win-ish. Is it? Win-ish? Yeah. Only a tiny guy. I think we could use a little more air, Zach, but that's it. We'll wait for now. All right, come on, all aboard here. All aboard the SS Newfoundland. Let's go. Attaboy, sit down. Here we go. We just walked land for about 1 kilometer to get to this first steady here on Piper's Hole, and it looks like we may be able to follow it for a bit, from the view up top anyways. It's getting kind of shallow though, sticks as well. Now I know where the sticks are coming from, Zach. Beaver down, heads up. Good work, Zach, attaboy. We just did a few K of good old marsh walking. Oh, you feel the burn, but it's going to make supper taste good later. I tell you that. Hey, Zach. Back in the raft. It'll be nice. Attaboy, Zach. Good drink, buddy.
That's my good buddy Gene in for a visit, I think. He flies out of Clarenville, or Thorburn Lake, for Thorburn Aviation. Come on, Gene, do me a trick, boy. Gene flew me into Mount Sylvester, Diamond Lake last summer to scout out some of this route, and he told me if he was in the area he'd fly over. It was nice to see him. He's coming back for round 3. Evening wind and rain sweeping in here, so we're just trying to maneuver through, aren't we, Sack? It's nothing too bad. We only got a short paddle around 1 kilometre to get us to the next part of Piper's Hole River. The raft is beast in these conditions though, I must say. You use your body and you roll with the waves. I feel like a little bobber out here. So we're just off the water and got pretty damp today, walking through some rivers and whatnot. So naturally, like you would, I'm gonna get a fire going first thing. Maybe I should take Saku's bag off too. Hey, bud. We made almost 17 kilometers today. That's enough. Leaves us around 30, 35 from Piper's Hole. Oh, there you go, Sack. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Ooh. Go with the lighter this evening, quick and easy. I actually passed up a sandy beach for a campsite, just back there. I figure with Sack going in and out, the tent will just be covered in sand. You'll be up to your yin yang. So I decided to come in here just off the Piper's Hole River.
Although I carry fuel, which can be used very cautiously and briefly to heat you up in the tent, there's nothing like the radiant warmth that comes from a fire after a day of getting wet, damp, and cold. It warms your bones and dries your clothing.
Little improvised clothes hangers here. One more would be good. Kettle's on, all is good. Hey, Sack. Well, it's hard to believe that we're pretty much done. Leg number 3 of our trip. Just crazy. It's gone by so quickly, and that's usually how things go, but I have enjoyed every minute, of course. And now we're on the fringe of the Bay du Nord wilderness area, so as soon as we start going tomorrow, we're out of the Bay du Nord. So that's another point here and gone, and I'm really glad I decided to choose this area as part of my route. I could have bypassed it to the south, and I could have went to the north and not hit as much of it, but I kind of went right through the heart of Bay du Nord, so pretty special, and it was just the treat I expected it to be.
So now, on a relaxed evening in early June, I'm going to take you along on the wood run with me and Saku.
This old juniper over here has been a saviour at this site. If it wasn't for him, I don't know what we'd do for firewood. I got him half chewed to pieces now as it is, but there's still lots left. That's it. There's nothing around the area. Not a thing. Even in through here, I was in walking around. Scattered little dead stick, but not a whole lot. This works out good. I'll get one lined up now. This collapsible saw I brought on a trip is a godsend. You know, it comes in real handy for getting some bigger logs, takes less energy than hacking and whacking with the axe. And sometimes it's just quicker and I like to take it out instead of the axe. So, it just comes with one little wing nut and you slide both ends in like that. One goes in this way, another comes in this end. You got to do it together so they won't fit in evenly. If you do one before the other, it won't work out for you. You screw on your wing nut, and there you go. Buck saw is ready to go. Swedish blade on it. Man, I've been using this now for almost 2 years and it still cuts great. I brought an extra blade with me. And I left that in Conn River because I've never broken one, knock on wood. And it's a bit of extra weight that I want to take out of my pack. Plus I have the axe, so it was no big deal. See, at the moment my axe is a little more dull than I'd like it to be. So you have to work harder and bigger chance of making a mistake. Especially on the stuff that's kind of bouncy. You know, you're hitting your axe off that and you're not getting a good precise hit, and you're not getting a good deep impact because there's too much spring to it. So with this here I can just cut away. And most times, to be honest with you, I cut the logs half long because then I can usually slide them in the fire as one end burns. That way I'm not cutting as many small chunks and wasting more of my energy out here. You know, I'm using enough of it as it is. That one could be broken by hand. Hey buddy, what you doing? What you doing, Zach? Flies on you. What you doing? Do you want your food? Maybe a couple cuts on your belly, do you? A couple scrapes, right? Buddy.
With this day being a large one, my goal was to cover the approximate 30 kilometers to resupply number 3. We were on the water by 8 AM and moved at a swift pace, with the arteries of the earth providing a boost.
of the tangle. Raft's tough as nails though. It might take a scratch or a small little poke. Stay strong. So that's it. Saku and I have officially crossed through the Bay du Nord Wilderness area. We're outside of it now as we make our way down Piper's Hole towards Whitehead Pond. But it's been an absolute pleasure to spend over almost 2 weeks in here, and I'm glad I made it a part of my route. It's one of the last wild places remaining in Newfoundland. So we were happy to share it with you. Hold on, Sack.
As we cruised along, things could hardly get any better. After some wet days, we now had a few nice ones in a row. The sun beamed down, and I could smell the approaching salt water in the air. But we weren't getting out of here that easy. The gods had other plans.
Man, oh man. This is what happens. This is what happens. I was starting a little fire here midday. Me and Saku stopped on the side of the river, and I had a small fire going and it wouldn't stay, so it went out. I go up behind to use the washroom. We only stopped to dry out a little bit. I got wet just to take a break. Nice day. We made some good time so far this morning, and I come back down and the grass is on fire. The raft is sunk. There's holes burnt in it over there. My day bag with my snacks, all my electronics and some of that stuff in there, it was completely on fire. I saved most of that. Fishing rod gone, bag soaked because it was in the raft, and the raft sunk into the water once it deflated from the holes. Now they're fixable, but not right now, so I'm just gonna pack up and get going. This is absolutely crazy. Crazy, look at it. The fire was out. It was stopped for 5 minutes. I had the raft loaded up, ready to go, but I had the bag on the ground, my day bag with things in it. That caught on fire, rod burnt, one of my GoPros is gone. That's it. It was only a minute. Went up, I was 4 or 5 minutes up there, came down, couldn't even get a fire going. All of a sudden everything was on fire. So I'm packing up, I'm going, I gotta get out of here. We gotta get out to the road tonight. I don't care if I'm going till 12 o'clock with the headlamp on. Come on, Sack. I don't know what's wet in the bag. I don't even want to dig in there and mess with it.
Throughout my life in the woods, I've had hundreds of fires. but never an incident like this. So I can only call it a freak event. After heavily dousing the grounds with water, I packed our bags and we headed over the rugged, trackless land to cover the remaining 18 odd kilometres.
Still can't believe what happened back there, but that's it. Another bump in the road. We could have paddled the last 5 kilometres, but it's pretty good going. Instead we walked the shoreline and got wet, muddy and everything else. I don't know what to say, I'm speechless, right? That's 2 events now that have been near catastrophic, both on the last days of a stage. And to think about it, the last day of the Burgeo stay, when I was coming to Burgeo, my map was gone. So I ended up bushwhacking my way out to the Burgeo Highway. So something about these last days are cursed. But right now we're 11 kilometers from TCH and it's just about 4 o'clock, maybe a little past now, and I'm getting out there this evening. It doesn't matter. I'm determined. Just because of what's happened, I gotta get out now and straighten some things away for leg number 4, the final. Oh man, gotta get back down on that. The shorelines were way too steep, so we had to come up. Bushwhacking alongside of Piper's Hole is taking the good out of me. Wow, some difficult steep river banks and a lot of thick bush. I don't know if we'll make it to the highway tonight. We'll get close, but we're not going to make it out. I'd be very surprised. We're just about out to the end of Piper's Hole now, and you know, it's been a tough mental day for me. And frig, I love you, Sack. Thank God he was here. Oh man, I just can't believe it. It's almost 500 kilometers now. And yeah, whatever, we've lost a lot of things, but I figured that was gonna happen anyways. I'm just happy we're both in one piece and we can continue on and finish this thing. That's a hell of a feeling, emotions are flying high. And all for good reasons. The important thing is that me and him made it out together. Woo! Yes! Come on, Zach. Finish harder. Yes! Yeah! Attaboy. Attaboy. Bag up. So today, me and Saku are waiting patiently near Piper's Hole. The winds have picked up pretty strong, so we're not going out on the ocean anyways. But even if it was calm, we weren't going anywhere. It doesn't matter. The raft needs to be fixed. It suffered some pretty serious damage from the fire, but nothing that can't be looked after. That was the main hit to the gear list. Some other technology and some personal items, but nothing that will hinder us. So I'll get this looked after and we should be on our merry way to finish the 180 to 200k left to Cape Royal.
Once again, human error and some hard luck had caused damage to our vessel. While waiting for the winds to subside here at resupply number 3, it was back to the repair kit for a difficult fix of the raft. Though I was optimistic of my abilities to patch the wounds, there was a small feeling of uncertainty lingering in my stomach, with a trip on the Atlantic Ocean next on our menu.
I still can't believe the that's gone wrong here on this trip. You know, I expected some things to be difficult and not get all the bounces, but keeps things exciting for us anyways.
So right now I'm setting up camp at around 10:30 at night. We were down on the beach there on Swift Current, and the tide got a little too close for comfort. I do believe if we stuck around there, our tent would have got swamped. So I'm up here now in the dark, not far off the side of the road, and just getting a quick camp set up. Jeez, man, it's tough to judge. High tides this time now, and we just had a full moon. What? There goes a car go by. So, jeez. That's it. You live and learn.
So last night, this is a bunch of firewood that I had piled up, and this was way out here, out by this rock. So the tide pushed it all the way in. Our tent was here. Now, the sticks that I had for starting the wood and fire are still right here. So we might have been alright, I don't know. It's odd to see those still there, but these all the way in here. So the tide just must have came in here, and we might have been alright. Oh my, funny to think. That's it, man. I don't know these shorelines that great, but I now know that for the future, if I set up along the ocean, I'll be well back to really make sure that I don't get swamped by the tide. Well, here's the moment of truth. What do you think, Zach? Think the raft's gonna blow up for us or what? Think she's fixed? What do you got, man? That's a bone. No, it's wood. So everything looks to be good. I'm going to let it sit here now for a few hours and see if it deflates any. Regardless, I'm probably still going to reinforce some of these patches with more tape and glue. You can never be too safe. So today is Sunday, June 11th. It's day 54 of our trip. For the last couple days, me and Saku have been laying low here, and the winds have been gusty. It hasn't given us an opportunity to move forward out in the ocean. So the plan is to wait till Tuesday morning, bright and early on rising tide. We will leave here, which is just out from the mouth of Piper's Hole River, and we'll head out the Swift Current area, out into the Placentia Bay, and just across the Southern Harbour. It's around 25 kilometres. The winds will be light that morning, and
it will pick up again later on in the week. So how long we remain in the ocean is uncertain.
You like that, do you say? You beauty. Yeah, there's still some on your lip. Come on, keep going.
So I left the raft down here for around 3 hours, a little more than that, and it deflated quite a bit, so I reinforced it with a ton of Tyvek, and that should do it. So it's still windy, the raft's blowing away from me at the moment. That should do. I looked long and hard for any other leaks, and doesn't seem to be any. So it had to be coming from over here, and that's sealed up pretty strong right now. So we'll give it a go now in a little bit if the wind dies down. If not, we take off tomorrow morning on our maiden voyage with the new repair. It'll be okay. Come here, Sack. Get away from that. Saku.
So with the use of much tape, I think I finally have this secured up front. I came down this morning, it had deflated again, and today it wasn't windy like yesterday. There wasn't a whole lot of waves crashing, so I could really hear once I inflated the raft completely. So I came over, anyways, I heard a little spot there that seemed like it was leaking. I patched it up, and now it's been inflated solid for at least an hour. So we're ready to go. What do you think, Zach? Let's do it, buddy.
what a beauty morning here. The wind has died right off, and it's certainly given me and Saku an opportunity to paddle out through this Piper's Hole Swift Current area. It's super scenic. This is definitely a highlight of the trip. You're kind of hemmed in by beautiful hills on both sides that lead you out into the Placentia Bay area. So that's where we're headed, and just a gorgeous morning.
With some interesting days behind us, to say the least, we settled back into the flow of the trip and set our sights on a 25-kilometre crossing along the coastline of the Atlantic Ocean.
The bay here is slick like oil here this morning. It's absolutely beautiful. Hardly a ripple. Right behind me now is Garden Cove and another small community, but looks just gorgeous. And of course, directly back behind me is where I came from, Swift Current, Piper's Hole, and you can see those just towering hills on both sides of the inlet. Wicked, man, it's wicked.
It's getting a little dicey out here. There's a strong wind from the south, and we're still a few kilometers away from the refinery. That's where I want to get off. It's going to be a battle getting in.
What about you, Zach? You stiff too?
Morning of June 16th, and we got a frosty one here on the raft.